Welcome back to an episode of CTT. We're back again. It's the boys are back again. We're coming with a good episode today. Today we're going to talk about pride. The title of this episode is going to be Pride, More of Me, Less of You. So today we're doing things a little bit different. You see I'm kind of dressed kind of preppy today. This is a CTT classroom. So, in this class, the purpose of this classroom is to... Hold on. The Control the Tide classroom aims to empower individuals by providing comprehensive education on cultivating and enhancing mental health. This initiative integrates psychological research with biblical principles, creating a holistic approach that addresses the mental, emotional, and spiritual development of students. Our curriculum is designed to help students identify and break free from destructive cycles often rooted in negative personal experiences and societal pressures. Through interactive lessons, group discussions, and reflective activities, which me and Stone do here, we strive to equip our students with practical tools and strategies that promote resilience and well-being. Ultimately, we seek to foster an environment where individuals can thrive by nurturing their mental health while grounding their journey in faith and positive psychological practices. And that's basically what we've been doing with CTT as a whole. I just wanted to say that to you guys so you understand that's what the purpose of Control the Tide is.
Yes, that's the CTT mission statement, official CTT mission statement right there.
So now, students and Stone, we're going to be talking about the subject today is pride.
Okay.
Before I talk about what the curriculum is, what we're going to delve into when talking about pride, what does pride mean to you, Mr. Stone Cold?
Okay, pride to me is when I think of pride, I think of that one movie with the black what was it, black swimmers. You ever seen that movie? I think the name of it is Pride. But
I don't know. You gotta.
So like, it's a movie. I'm pretty sure like a lot of people have seen it. But it's like a black movie. I think it's about like some black swimmers like swimming like during like segregation or some shit. But I remember like they were saying like in the movie, like the movie I think was called Pride, but I think they were saying in the movie like you need to have like some pride about yourself as far as like you deserve, you know what I'm saying, to be able to compete. Like you deserve to be able to, prove yourself essentially, like off the hard work that you put in, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's time to like get to the stage, you know what I'm saying, be proud about that and, deliver that with a certain level of confidence. Mm-hmm. So when I think about pride, I think about that. I think about, the alternative version of pride, which is, could be like the pride to your downfall as like, thinking that like you're better than people or whatever.
There's two types of pride.
Right.
We'll get into that though.
So I think about both sides of pride. Like it can be used in the positive light and it could be used in the negative light, in my opinion.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So for our students today, students will define pride and understand its implications. Students will explore the two forms of pride, authentic pride and hubristic pride. They will learn about the characteristics of each and how these types impact personal growth and interpersonal relationships. Students will comprehend the mental and spiritual effects of pride, understanding how to counter prideful thoughts. So now we're going to go to the overall definition of pride. Pride has its origins in psychological research and biblical narratives. Merriam-Webster provides a comprehensive set of definitions for the term pride. One notable definition describes it as the pleasurable feeling that emerges from one's relationships, associations, achievements, or possessions, all perceived as sources of honor and respect. This type of pride often embodies a sense of belonging or accomplishment that can enhance one's self-worth and confidence within a community or society. Conversely, another definition characterizes pride as an exaggerated sense of self-esteem, meaning that you're very high on yourself, which can result in an inflated perception of one's importance or abilities. Mm-hmm. There are two forms of pride, as I mentioned before, authentic pride and hubristic pride. So what do you feel? So before we get into it, what did you garner from that definition of pride?
Basically, like, yeah, you were saying that there's two types. One that can be just healthy and unhealthy, pretty much, yeah.
So we're about to go into authentic pride. Mm-hmm. So authentic pride is a sense of accomplishment and self-assurance from personal achievements and efforts. Meaning that you're proud because of
what you've accomplished.
You accomplished
what
because
you've
of what you've done.
Yeah.
knowing that you went through trials and tribulations. It is linked to controllable and unstable factors, particularly effort. So it's based off of effort. That authentic pride is produced from effort.
From what you've done.
Exemplified by reaching goals through perseverance and principled actions. Like you stayed true to yourself. You persevered despite all hell was breaking loose. An example for me, a personal example for me is when I graduated college. I overcame challenges, and I reflect on my hard work and determination to help me get through it.
Damn. Well, not damn, but yeah, that's fine.
That's authentic pride.
Yeah.
That could be for any other circumstance.
Yeah.
What would be an example of you having authentic pride?
I'm trying to think. Like, that's why I said damn, because I'm trying to think. Like,
I could say one that I think you would be proud of, the Wave Gala.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Definitely, like, those are small things to me.
But that still gives you authentic pride, though.
I mean, yeah, I definitely have authentic pride for like a lot of the stuff that we've done. But to me, those are like small wins. Like,
so you gotta drop a big one and stuff.
But I feel like I haven't had that moment happen. Like, I feel like for you, like graduating college is like a big moment. Like, cause like you overcame a bunch of small like obstacles to like, all right, you graduated college. Like, you know what I mean? That's like an accomplishment. Like, I feel like I don't really have like. I haven't done that. It's soon. It's coming soon.
It's coming
soon.
I was like, yeah.
I have not reached that moment yet, but I hope to soon. Well, I beat the Matrix. I graduated from beating the Matrix.
Authentic pride is the pro-social aspect that enhances personal well-being and encourages positive social interactions. It fosters a sense of community and motivates behaviors that benefit others. So authentic pride isn't just for you, it helps everybody around you. Now we're going to talk about, in contrast, hubristic pride, based off of hubris.
Oh, hubris.
Hubristic pride, hubris.
Okay. I thought you were saying Hebrewist.
No.
But hubris.
Hubristic.
Hubristic.
Hubristic pride differs from authentic pride, stemming from an inflated self-importance and overestimating one's achievements. Key characteristics include a lack of humility, focusing on personal accomplishments without acknowledging others' support, exaggerated belief in one's abilities, dismissing collaboration. Going back to my example, I could base that I graduated college off of my own intellect. I'm that guy. I'm smart. I didn't get help from my instructors, my classmates when we did projects, or even the staff, like my academic counselor, my financial counselor. Like, if I was gonna be working on hubristic pride, I'll be saying it was all me. I didn't get any support. I did it all on my own.
I guess that's like when people win like the MVP. They like to be like, yo, I want to thank my teammates, my coaches.
That'll be authentic pride.
Right.
You're acknowledging that
everybody else.
you.
Yeah, rather than getting up there and be like, yeah, I did it. Y'all suck. None of y'all hold me.
The consequences of hubristic pride is that it alienates you from others, so nobody wants to be around you if you're all high on yourself all the time. You're unable to learn from feedback. So, for example, if I'm a coach and you're based on you're a player, your pride is hubristic. I could tell you like, hey, you need to learn how to shoot better. You need to like tighten up your dribble some more. But if you're hubristic, you're like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even hoop. You never even hoop. That would be hubristic pride.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, like example of like hubristic pride, like in my case, like I could be at my job and I'll be like, my manager coming like, hey, I need to coach you on some things. I'm like, man, I ain't listening to you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job how I want to do my job. I do my job good. I'm basing off of my own abilities. I'm making myself more important than the needs of the company. Undermining teamwork value. Going back to the sports. If I think I'm the best player of the team, or if I know I'm the best player of the team, but I'm not like encouraging my teammates who may be struggling, be having a hard day, that's hubristic pride. Because I'm like, okay, it's all about me. Pass me the ball. Pass me the rock. I don't care about your stats. I'm the only reason we winning. That's hubristic pride.
That remind me of the rec days.
I think I thought about this. we were on that time.
We was on some hubristic timing, bro.
Bro, give us the ball, bro.
Yo, give us the ball. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. Pass the ball. That's funny.
See, now I gotta repent. Oh man.
Yo.
So now, since we did those two, we're gonna do a compare and contrast. So we're just gonna break it down for everybody who may have not been paying attention to those last two slides about what's the difference between the two. So, authentic pride is rooted in self-respect and confidence. You celebrate achievements without needing validation. Because when you're looking for validation, you're working off of hubristic pride. And that, I can speak to that from experience. I didn't have hubristic pride, or maybe I did, I'm going to be honest. I was looking for validation off my achievements and my accomplishments. And that's the wrong way to go at things. Because, like, you're not always going to get that validation from people. And if you're basing yourself so much on validation, you're going to become a people pleaser. You're going to do things not because you want to, because you want the praise that you get from other people.
I was definitely thinking about that recently. With just, you know, like the whole flexing culture, from like the clothes, the jewelry, the shoes, the cars, the cribs. Like, I think a lot of times people do stuff for the validation of other people.
And that's rooted in pride.
Yeah, because it's like, because I just got to thinking, I'm like, even like me, for myself, for example, it's like, I'll be wanting certain things, but it's like, do I want this for me, or do I want this for like the perception of me?
Do you want it so people could perceive you differently?
In a certain way. And it's like when, you gotta just address that. I feel like, because a lot of times people do stuff like for that reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't even necessarily be for you, or you think it's for you, but it's like
for others. It's really
right.
for others. It's really so you can feel good about yourself because other people give you that like confirmation,
because like
affirmation.
Does a car matter? Like, does what car you drive in like determine your value?
No.
On a car. This is something that just gets you from this place to this place.
Point B.
It doesn't matter whether you pulled up in a Honda or a goddamn Rolls Royce. It doesn't matter. Like,
It doesn't.
so it's like, that's my whole thing. It's like,
We gonna get into it. Don't worry. We gonna get into it.
that shit's crazy, man.
Authentic pride promotes resilience, motivation, and personal growth. Because, like, if, for example, I went and got my bachelor's, right? But that authentic pride, what did it motivate me to do? Go get my master's. I'm on my process to get my master's. I'm like, okay, I like the hard work. I like what I'm learning. I'm growing while I'm going to school. Doesn't mean you have to. And also, to make a side note, you don't have to go to school to grow. You can also grow on your own time. But this for me. This is my personal experience.
School is the best place for growth.
The authentic pride makes me want to grow because, like, off the air, me and Stone were talking about some stuff I learned in my current social psychology class, and that's been helping me put all the pieces together.
Exactly. When you have the knowledge, you can, you know,
It also encourages humility and openness to learning. Because if I'm pride off of my achievements and my accomplishments, and I'm self-confident, but I'm also respectful, I'm gonna be open to someone telling me something different.
All right, I definitely think it's a good balance between the two, like being prideful and being able to accept constructive criticism.
Yeah, because if you can't accept constructive criticism, you're never gonna be able to grow. You're gonna be stuck in the same place. You'll be stagnant. So going to hubristic pride is defined by arrogance and inflated self-view. Me, I'm that guy. I'm him. Well, think about it. How we heard that in life today? I'm him.
Yeah.
Or she's her. I'm him. She's her. We propagate that.
Yeah.
Like, we push it all the time.
Facts. This is facts, bruh. Literally.
Hubristic pride ignores others' contributions, leading to overestimation of abilities. Like I said, like, I'm the reason why we got to the finals. I'm the reason why we got the championship. I'm the reason why we got the bonus at the job. I'm carrying this on this, even like going to like us as gamers. Yeah. I'm the only reason why we winning this game right now.
I'm carrying.
Yeah. Got my backpack on. Like we push it so much and we don't even consciously realize it. We don't even consciously realize it.
It's damn near, it's a part of our culture.
We lack empathy. Remember we was talking about like in our past episodes, a lack of empathy is very prevalent in today's society. Yeah. When you're based off hubristic pride, you don't think about like, hey, how are they doing? Maybe they need a pep talk. Maybe they need this. So it's like, oh, nah. Everything needs to be fed towards me. It's my world. Y'all just live in it.
Yeah.
You alienate your peers and you foster competition over cooperation. Now, healthy competition is okay. We talked about that in the past episode. Healthy competition is okay. But when you push to the point where like you're stepping over people purposely to reach a goal, that's when you're basing yourself off of hubristic pride.
Right, when you're not playing in the restraints of the game. Like there's rules and like you have to play by the rules.
Like for example, like just to give another sports analogy, because I know that helps a lot when we're talking. Like say like if a coach tries to play for this player, but I interrupt the play to get the ball. I sabotage the play to get the ball and make the game winning shot because I want to be the one who does it. That's hubristic pride. Because you're competing. You're like, I want to be the best player.
I want to be the guy who makes the game winner. I want that feeling for me. I want to be held up by the fans.
Or for like, I can say an example at my job. Like, I could be that person. Like, oh, well, I'm the one who went and rescued this person. I'm the one who went and saved this person.
Yeah,
it's me. I did all this. But like, I'm not the only person who does that. Everybody else at my job does the same thing. But I want to put the spotlight on me. Hubristic pride is like putting the spotlight on yourself.
Dang, it's crazy though because it's like sometimes people like somebody would be like, yo, like if I don't pop it for myself, who's gonna pop it for me?
But that's where your character and your actions should. You shouldn't be trying to force it. People are gonna recognize it. And besides, you should have that pride in yourself. The healthy pride. Remember, not that I'm overestimating myself, but like, okay, I know I'm putting the hard work in. I know I'm doing the effort. I know I'm fighting despite what I'm going through. That's authentic pride.
It's like you're doing all the work on a project, but you don't get none of the credit for it, or like none of the praise. Like your boss takes it.
Yeah, no, that's,
you know what I mean?
That's a term called social loafing, but that's.
But I'm saying like that could exist, so it's kind of like, dang, like some people might have to be like, yo, like you have to like put your foot down and be like, hey, boss, like,
hey, yeah, I'm doing
this. Like, I need to get X amount of reward for this or whatever, you know.
But you shouldn't do it for the rewards. Like, I should at least get some type of credit.
Or credit, whatever.
And like rewards, like, but like for even that situation, I'm like, okay, I'll tell my boss like, hey, I put the work in. If you want to contribute, that's fine. I feel like you need to at least let them know that's contributing. Don't just make it all about you. Like, hey, we're supposed to like, I did this, but we're supposed to be a team. We're supposed to be a team. We're supposed to contribute. That would be the healthy way to address that situation. Like, we're supposed to be a team. Because I've had that happen to me in group projects. I'm like, bro, all the work. But the way I tell my professor, when I was telling my professor, I'm like, hey, I did this. We're supposed to contribute. That'll be my issue. That's my issue. I'm not making it all about me. I'm telling them, I'm still putting the focus on we're a unit. It's not just me. I'm not a one-man army. Right? Now we're going to talk about pride as a significant obstacle. Because pride, you may think pride is a motivator. It can be when it's the healthy pride, authentic pride. When it's hubristic pride, it's really a barrier more than anything else. Pride can serve as a source of personal strength, yet it frequently obstructs authenticity and meaningful relationships. While it may provide a fleeting boost to self-esteem, it also establishes barriers to vulnerability. So, for example, I've been in past relationships, whether that's platonic or romantic, where if that person's very prideful or narcissistic, they won't be vulnerable because they don't want you to see that side of themselves. Because pride is rooted really in self-shame. You're pushing yourself so high so people won't notice like the true you on the inside. Right?
Your flaws and stuff.
And that's not being vulnerable. Because a person will truly love you when they see your flaws and they choose to love you anyway.
Right.
A person will truly respect you is when they see you still striving even though they know that you have flaws or vulnerabilities.
Damn. This is really hitting me right now.
Because like, for example, I've been in relationships where if that person can't apologize when they know they're done wrong, what's working in that? Pride. Because you're not going to admit you're not going to admit your flaws or your wrongdoings or your mistakes.
You can't even be open enough to like...
And that closes you off.
Because of your pride. Your pride won't allow you to be open in this relationship. Which is like not being open.
But I know what you mean.
Like being open in a relationship is what is going to like boost the relationship.
Because it causes growth. Because if you're open about your flaws, open about my flaws, we'll grow together. And we'll learn how to work with each other. But if
everybody has a mask on...
A facade. You know my favorite word, facade.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy.
See, but like that goes to what leads from you not being vulnerable, it leads to you becoming isolated. Because you're placing so much importance on your self-image, you don't care about the others around you. Like you don't want like genuine development. You want fast-paced development, or you want so you're so focused on self-development, you're not focused on everyone around you, because you're not going to make it somewhere by yourself. Someone helps you along the way, no matter how much you try to limit the value that they put on that. Like, for example, like, I wouldn't be where I was at today without my parents.
Right.
I want to be today where I'm at without my friends. I want to be where I'm at today without my siblings. Like, someone always has to play a factor to where you're at.
Right. You
but
didn't
pride
do this by
tries to
yourself.
remove that factor, remove that person, remove that thing that motivated you or pushed you to where you're at. Confronting pride can improve interactions and nurture a true sense of self. I just feel like when we do these type, like when we really deal with pride, you really become a totally different person.
Yeah. That's literally what I'm over here like thinking about right now. It's like, dang, I'm really mad guilty of like a lot of this stuff. Like,
but it's like that's where reflections come. Like, you're reflecting because like we don't take that with anything we're dealing with. We never usually take that time to reflect. We get so caught up in like the busyness of life, things of nature. We don't.
Like, that's why my past relationship didn't work, because like I wasn't like
open or vulnerable.
Because like I had too much pride of like what I wanted like to be perceived as. Cause you know, like as a man, like,
yeah, I was about to say that too.
Like as a man, like, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to be perceived as a certain way. So it's like, okay, like you might like close yourself off to being vulnerable to certain things.
Because like, you know how like in today's society, like most women, like a lot of women say, not most, but a lot of women, they don't want a vulnerable man because they feel like that's soft. They're basically pushing a man to become prideful. Like, if that man can't be vulnerable around you, he's gonna not. You want him to be open to you, but if he's not vulnerable, he's gonna be closed off. He's gonna be isolated.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in moments where I'm isolated because like I can't. If I don't feel like I can be vulnerable with you,
right,
then I can't be my authentic self. I'm gonna put up a facade.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be this tough guy. I'm gonna be this person that's all tough, nothing bothers me. When at the end of the day, on the inside, I'm like, I'm crashing out.
Right. And it's like, it's not worth it at that point. Like,
so that's why you always gotta like.
It's not worth it to
especially
not
like
be yourself.
Like you said, as a man, we have so much societal pressures on us. We really base ourselves off of like what other people do, or like what our partner thinks about us, or what our family thinks about us, instead of like just being us, being authentically proud in the stuff that we've came from and stuff that we've accomplished. That we just try to base ourselves off of other things, like our own abilities, our own intellect, our own physicality. So now, since we've gone to that, we're going to go to the biblical perspective, students. Waivers. So, pride is often viewed as one of the 7 deadly sins within Christian theology, and its implications are profound and far-reaching. It is commonly defined as an excessive belief in and admiration for one's abilities or appearance. This misguided form of confidence, characterized by an inflated sense of self-worth, can severely diminish a person's regard for others and create a significant disconnection from humility and reverence toward God. So the Bible emphasizes pride as a critical moral failing that can lead to a cascade of sinful behaviors. Proverbs 16:18 warns us, pride goes before destruction. We've heard this growing up. A haughty spirit before a great fall. So to go into that, so like, what is an emotion that we've talked about in a previous episode that can be branched off from pride?
Dang, I know. I'm trying to think. I know this too.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We've done a lot, but from our negative, one of our negative ABCs of emotions.
From one of our negative ABCs, I'm thinking, okay, what was it? Anger, bitterness.
There was conceit, depression,
envy.
It's envy.
That was the first one that went to my mind. Was envy. I don't know.
When you're prideful, you're gonna envy someone else who's being successful. Like, if I'm seeing like, if I'm like, okay, I'm so focused on me, I can't celebrate somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, I did this.
Right.
Like, we see someone celebrating, like, well, I did this. Where's my praise? Where's my glory?
Right.
Where's my clout?
Right.
Like, you know, that's why I feel like when they say pride in the Bible, pride is a deadly sin, because like it destroys everything. It destroys your relationship. It destroys you. It corrupts you. It's eating you up on the inside.
Yeah. Slowly.
Because usually, and most prideful people end up falling. I'm not gonna say any real life names, but prideful people end up falling. And even like the biggest thing in Christian theology, or just the Bible, who like the first sin that was committed wasn't even in the Garden of Eden. It was in heaven by who?
Oh,
Lucifer.
yeah,
He was prideful because what did he want to be like? I want to be like the Most High. I want to sit above the throne of God. He wanted to be like God.
So how did Lucifer? Okay, that's a whole nother. That's a tangent.
That's a tangent. Yeah, we can't do that this time. We usually do tangents, but we can't do that tangent
because that one's gonna be a long one.
Because like that's basically how he got kicked out from heaven, because he was trying to put himself above God.
Yeah.
And then what did he do right after he got kicked out of heaven when he ended up on earth? He led Adam and Eve into pride. He's like, you can be like God.
Yeah, he tried to. Yeah.
And that pride is what tempted him to eat the
right.
fruit.
Exactly.
So you see how pride is really like, pride is the first sin. That's why it leads into everything else.
Right.
Because pride is because you're based so much on yourself. You don't hold yourself accountable to God. You don't hold yourself accountable to others. It's all about me. Like, I'm my own God. I make my own story. I define my own fate. I don't hold myself accountable to any man or higher power. That's why pride is so dangerous. Because when you're prideful, you'll do anything.
Right.
Your heart leads to. And the heart's deceitful. Like, sometimes when you say, like, lead with your heart, that is not the best option. Because leading with your heart can get you to a whole world of pain.
Ooh.
Like,
trust me, I know.
We all been there. Like,
that's funny.
It's just like, man.
Can't lead with your heart.
You gotta use wisdom. You gotta ask for wisdom. You gotta ask for wisdom.
You gotta use wisdom for sure.
But going back into that, like, the reason why Satan did that with pride, because like why he tried to do that with Adam and Eve, because he wanted us all to go into, like, follow his rebellion. Because what is rebellion based off of? Pride. When we rebel, whether that's like either in like a school when we were kids and we were rebelling against the teaching instructions, that's based off of pride, because like I want to do what I want to do. Or at our jobs when we want to go take a longer break or something like that, what's that based off of? That rebellion based off of pride.
You feel like you're bigger than the rules of the job, man.
Like, you see, that's all I'm saying. Like, pride is so profound because pride is found in almost every single thing that we do.
And and that's the thing that's like that's getting to me right now. It's like the fact that like people, humans, like, we're so prideful. The fact that like our entire identities are low-key based off of pride,
that
bro.
shows that's based off of the original sin, because the original sin was pride, was rooted in pride. So like, you see how that's been passed down to all of us.
And it's like, it's the matrix that we're in. The matrix that we're in is like
and we're in a society that is only
it pushes it.
That propagates
that's
pride.
What I'm saying.
Like social media,
right?
Just even everyday interaction.
The more we do these, I'm gonna eventually be a monk somewhere in the mountains, praying 10 times a day. Like, cause it's like, what are we doing in life? Like, what are we really doing? We do all this for what? For what, bro? That shit is crazy, man.
Like, pride is just so...
We living in a messed up world, bro. I ain't gonna.
And that's why we kind of have to, like... That's why I would say, like...
We gotta be transformed to be renewed by the renewing of our minds,
and that's why you have to take that time back and reflect. Like, think about, like, your every... Like, I would, like, for me now, like, ever since when I started doing this research, I sat back, I was like... Do I have is every day of my life dictated by pride? It's like,
really though,
am I doing this for like my own ego?
Right.
It's my own ego. Am I doing this because I actually care? Like, it made me check my heart posture. Because like, whenever you're doing something, you always want to check your heart posture. Are you doing it for others in the service of others? Or are you doing it in the service of yourself? And doing that in the service of yourself, you're just trying to get or you're trying to garner praise from others.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm like, we are sinful beings. I am a prideful person, but I have to put that in check. My pride shouldn't come off of what I've done. Like, it should come off of my effort, but it shouldn't be based off, like, I shouldn't base off my own abilities. Yeah. Because I was given gifts by God. Right. And I also was
given opportunity.
People I placed in my life helped me get to where I was at. And that's why I'm just like, like, dang. Like, that's why it was hitting me. When I was typing this up in the research. I was like, I sat back. I was like, yo, I'm prideful, bro. I gotta repent for that. Like,
I gotta change, bro. I definitely gotta change, bro.
Because you see how dangerous pride is. It isolates you. It alienates you. It destroys. Like, a prideful person can destroy a relationship or a whole community. Like, you see all in churches, it's like, if it's a prideful pastor, a prideful leader, that could destroy the whole ministry. Right. And that's at jobs too, because like if you're a prideful person at your job, you're not gonna be able to accept change. You're not gonna be able to receive innovation. It changes.
Right.
Like it breaks everything down. You can't. Cause you know like that proverb where it says it takes a village to raise a child. The same thing. Like you can't raise it. Like even for parents, you can't raise a child by yourself. You need help. You need either aunties, family members, or even if they're not your family, people like you can look up to, mentors that can help you with anything. Like a business, raising a family, relationships. That's like even like with therapy. We can go into this. People say they don't need therapy. What's that based off of?
Pride.
Because you don't want nobody else digging in your business.
Yeah,
you don't want them picking your brain, as they call it.
You think you know it all. You think you don't know the answers.
I can feel myself.
Right.
Well, even as you're like, well, a therapist does that. No, a therapist had to hold themselves accountable to research.
Right. Hours.
They went to school.
Hours.
Like they're not
things that you could never do. Things that ChatGPT can't help you with. Cause like, yeah.
Like you have to like. Therapy is needed, like for everyone. I would say that's why it's needed for everyone, because we all have an aspect of pride that we need to deal with.
Yeah, especially like moving forward in this new like world that we're entering. Like therapy is going to be a big.
It's necessary. It's essential. I'm not saying that for y'all to like, oh, he's money grabbing. No, like whether that's you watching,
it's real.
Whether you just watch, whether you're just watching this or you're actually like
the fact that it makes money is not as.
It just happens.
That's a part of the game. But
whether you're watching this, whether you're watching stuff on other videos on YouTube that's giving you therapeutic help, you need to do that because we're prideful. We can't do things on our own. We're not God. We're not God. We can't do anything on our own. Like, that's why it's so important that we embrace humility, which is the antidote to pride. You saw that transition king. So we can't completely get rid of pride, but we can navigate pride through humility. Humility means you're lacking pride or arrogance. Key efforts include acknowledging limitations. That means I'm knowing like, okay, I have these weaknesses. I have these vulnerabilities. I'm not the guy I think I am. I'm not that great. And valuing others' contributions. That means you're appreciating people that helped you along the way, or the people you meet on an everyday basis. You embrace humility by fostering growth, learning, and authentic connections. Because pride makes all connections counterfeit. Because you're really just like, oh, what can you do for me, or how can you boost my ego?
Right.
Or you're working in pride. So your relationship doesn't matter. Like once they stop contributing to you, you're just like, bye, peace. Yeah. And then on to the next one. It creates a cycle because you're just going to keep. When you're prideful, you're feeding off of people. You're a parasite. Pride is parasitic.
You're an energy.
That's a quote.
You're an energy vampire.
Pride is parasitic. Because you're feeding off of somebody's emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects of themselves. And that eventually leads to their physical aspects. Have you ever seen someone who's dealing with a narcissistic person, how they usually look, or in a relationship, or just like in general? They usually look drained all the time. Because why? The prideful person is feeding off all the positive stuff.
They're blood sucking their energy.
Not literally. But yeah, but that's what pride does. Pride is very parasitic. It takes. Yeah. It doesn't give. It only takes. Because what is it all about? The self. Yeah. Me. That was good.
Yeah, it's hella good, bro. Niggas.
When you practice humility, you're also practicing active listening. That means you're listening to different viewpoints that you may not agree with, but you still have to respect it when you're humble. Right. And there's that going into humility. You know that one scripture says God resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. When you're humble, you move in grace. That means you get unmerited favor, from others, from God, and from others. Because when you're humble, like say like I could be the most prideful person at my job, I lose my job. But if I'm working in humility, I might get promoted just by me just doing my job.
Because they be like, I like this kid, man. It's something about him that's different.
And you shouldn't be humble just so you can get something. You should be humble. That's who you are.
Exactly. That's who you are. That's your DNA.
When you're humble, you have deeper connections, of course. You have increased empathy, and you create a supportive atmosphere. Like when you're humble, you're cheering for the person. You're supporting them in whatever way you can, whether that's like a talk, whether that's monetary. Humility, you're not always thinking about yourself. You're thinking about, how can I bless this person? How can I contribute to this person? How can I pour into that person? Because when you're prideful, you're only pouring into you. But when you're humble, you're pouring into others around you.
It's like when I go outside sometimes, I be like trying to keep that on my mind. Like, how can I like leave a positive impact on people, the people that I interact with?
And that's working out of humility, because you're not making it about you.
Right.
You know how people like in the church, they like, bless me to be a blessing? That's what you want.
Right.
Bless me so I could be a blessing to others.
So I can show people the light.
Yeah.
So people can see the light in me.
And that light points you back to Jesus. It's just amazing. And that's why, like, I try, like, for humility works in both realms, right? Like, oh, humility only works in the professional realm. No, it works in a personal realm too. In your everyday interactions with people. Now we're gonna go, since we did pride from a biblical perspective, we're also gonna do humility from a biblical perspective. Humility is celebrated in many religious and philosophical traditions as a cornerstone of personal growth and spiritual maturity. Because even, for example, most people in the Bible ended up being humble. Because Moses was humble. Jesus, of course, was humble. Most of the apostles are humble. Well, all the apostles are humble. Humility also fosters connection and understanding instead of isolation and self-centeredness. Recognizing our limitations and seeking guidance from God or community wisdom opens us up to learning and transformation. When you're humble, you're transformed, right? Like you're not. You look like you glow different. You know how people say, like, you look different, you glow different.
Yeah, it's like a glow about you.
Because like when you're prideful,
that also is a glow too. Huh? That also is a glow too.
But I feel like it's more like you exuding like
a negative energy.
It's like a darkness.
Yeah, a dark glow, right?
It's like a darkness, like, cause you see, like, I see most people who are prideful. Like, I don't know if that's all the way true, but like they seem more wrinkled up. They're always like frowning most of the time. You know, or they may have that cocky smirk.
Yeah.
You know?
You got that evil smile,
that grimace.
Yeah.
Or that evil grin.
Dang, that's crazy.
But when you're humble, like, you got that nice bright smile, you know, when you're humble, you're easily approachable. When you're prideful, people tend to just steer away from you, like, oh, that guy's he's full of hot air, I'm gonna stay away from him.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Dang, that's crazy.
In many faiths, humility is seen as a virtue that brings you closer to God. Because when you're humble, you're not depending on anybody. The only person you're depending on is God. You're depending on God for everything that you need. But when you're prideful, you're depending on yourself. You're putting yourself in God's place. Like, I must make this happen. I'm gonna make it happen. It's me. It's me.
It's crazy because, like, that's what
motivates a lot of us. It's pride, because we're like, I gotta make it happen. I need to make it happen. When you're not depending on, like, you're not okay with accepting help. You're not okay with accepting advice.
But I feel like that's what the gurus, the millionaires, the influencers, like, that's the energy that they push. Is like the prideful energy of, you have to do it yourself. Like, if you're not doing it.
But that's not all the way true, though, because those same people, they got to where they're at. Like, for example, like,
with God.
If not with God, like, I'm saying, do it with God and people.
Yeah.
But if you're of the world, you know, you do it. You still do it. You don't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You have people to support you. You may have had somebody put some money into your business.
Yeah.
Put some money into your craft.
For sure, most definitely.
Or you have people that came in and actually helped you or like taught you. They can educate you.
Right.
You don't do anything on your own. That's why, like, we're trying to break that negative, that narrative, not that negative, that narrative that you can do everything on your own. You don't start that business on your own. Like, you don't start that. Like, you can't do anything on your own.
Yeah, you really can't, though. And that's why it's so crazy. Because it's like, dang, like, sometimes, like, the world will make it seem like you gotta do it on your own. But more so, like, what you were saying is, like, having humility in the situation, like, puts the trust in God and not in yourself. I feel like a lot of times, like, people try to, like, trust ourselves. Like, we try to trust ourselves. And, like, trusting yourself is not really gonna, like,
it leads you to ruin, because when
it leads you to ruin.
When you trust in yourself, like I was saying before earlier in the episode, the heart is deceitful.
Yeah.
Like, if we're moving off of our feelings, our judgments, we're going to fail. We're going to lead to destruction. When if you trust in God, He plots out everything. He supplies all your needs. He's provided a great future for you, hope, not of destruction. Like, it's just so important that we understand that we can't ever do anything on our own, because pride is based off of self-reliance, self-centeredness, like making ourselves great. Because and to go into that with the scripture I'm putting out, James 4:10 compellingly instructs, humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord and He will exalt you. Because if you humble yourself to God, like whenever you come, whatever you do, whenever you're like for me, like even this podcast, I'm like, hey God, I'm doing this podcast, I'm doing this research. Let you speak through me to these people, let them know what they need to hear. And if it's your will that CTT becomes a bigger thing, then so be it. But if not, keep me humble even when we do get to that point. Because I want to become that point where like I did this on my own. Me and Stone made it. We got this out the mud.
Yeah.
When it wasn't us, like, the only person that can make this something that stands the test of time is God.
Yeah, bruh.
And we're happy for people that supported us throughout the way. The people who are just giving the words of encouragement, the likes on social media. We appreciate that, but we're not doing it for y'all per se. We're not doing it to make ourselves great. We're doing it to help people, to contribute to society.
To do like what God called us to do, essentially. God gave us this opportunity to do this, so like we gotta do it.
So, ultimately, the battle against pride is not simply a personal struggle, but a communal and spiritual journey. You can't beat pride on your own. You can't combat pride on your own. We were made as humans. We were made as relational beings. So we were made to be in community. That's why isolation is never a good thing. But pride will make you isolated, no matter how much you want to be in a community. Unless you find a community full of prideful people, I don't know how that even functions.
It definitely is not going to be a place you want to be.
By embracing humility, we unlock the potential for deeper connections, greater empathy, and a more prosperous spiritual life. When we consciously choose to view ourselves in the light of God's grandeur rather than our inflated perceptions, we become vessels of grace, fostering an environment where love, respect, and shared growth can flourish. Thus, the call to humility is not merely a passive suggestion, but an overpowering directive that invites us into a life marked by purpose. Just to like dumb that down. Basically, humility is not a suggestion. We're not suggesting you to be humble. We're telling you to be humble. Because being humble is the only way you're going to accomplish a purpose. That's the only way you're going to actually walk in love and respect. I can't expect to be loved and respected if I'm caring all about me, because I'm closed off to others' perspectives, others' trials and tribulations. So we're telling you to be humble. We're not saying you should be humble. You need to be humble.
Yeah, this is a command, not a request.
I don't even want to mention this because he's been popping, but you remember the Kendrick Lamar song?
Be humble, sit down?
Yeah. That's what
I was thinking about that when you said that. Sit your butt down. You know what I'm saying? Calm down.
Okay, so pride, steering clear of arrogance. This is our conclusion. We're concluding. So, just to give you a little wraparound, authentic pride acts as a catalyst for resilience, innovation, and genuine relationships. Hubristic pride breeds arrogance, isolation, and competitiveness. Embracing authentic pride allows celebration of achievements, acknowledgement of collaborative efforts contributing to success. The biblical perspective, it emphasizes humility and our role in a broader narrative. Proverbs 16:18 warns of the dangers of hubris. Galatians 6:4 advocates for self-reflection, like we've been saying, you need to reflect. And personal achievement without comparison. Comparison also creates pride as well. Well, pride breeds comparison. Because what are you doing when you're prideful? You're thinking about yourself, but you're also, what are they doing? And if they're succeeding, what does that make? I'm going to be envious then. So pride makes comparison and envy. And pride also makes you anger, bitter. You see how that all ties back to the negative ABCs? Cultivating authentic pride. Enhances self-esteem. That means you're confident, you know your own self-worth, but you're not overdoing it. You're not hyperdoing it, you're not overdoing it. Fostering and nurturing a cooperative community. We want to work together. We want to fortify our bonds with each other because we're relational beings. And then focusing on constructive facets of pride can transform personal paths. Remember, you're going to be transformed when you're navigating pride through humility. You're enriching your interactions. Your interactions aren't fake. They're not counterfeit. They're not inauthentic. We're actually working on being authentically proud instead of hubristically proud. And then you align your accomplishments with a higher purpose and dedication to serving others. Because I know it says in the Bible, they end off on this. So with pride, you're so focused on others serving you. When you're humble, you're focused on serving others. And it says in the Bible that the greatest of these is a servant. Jesus was a servant. Jesus didn't come to get served. He came to serve. So pride is something I got to work on. I hope everybody today, when you look back, you're like, okay, what areas of my life, or like, do I let my life be dictated by pride on a daily basis? And if not, how can I reverse that and be humble? 1, be reflective. 2, be okay with being vulnerable, acknowledging your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities. 3, hold yourself accountable to someone, whether that's others or God or a higher power. And that's what I would do to counter pride. And that's how we work on it. See, me and Stone, we were sitting back and thinking, like, pride is very prevalent in everyone.
Definitely.
And it just goes back to like its origins as if you believe, or if you're believing Christian, it's like that was the first original sin. Lucifer, Adam and Eve was all based off of pride. So pride is in all of us. It's something that we have to combat every day.
But you gotta be consciously aware, you know what I'm saying, or you're just gonna be unconsciously prideful. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we try to do here today, man, at CTT. We just try to help y'all become consciously aware of what's going on in your life, you know what I'm saying? And the spiritual battles that you fight on the day-to-day that you're probably not even aware that you're fighting, you know? So shout out to, you know, my boy Consistent for putting y'all down on some game and, you know, helping y'all, helping me, helping all of us, you know, with pride for today's CTT lesson of the day.
And it helped me too. It was a blessing. It was a thing that it helped me learn, it helped me reflect, it helped me do all the things I need to do so I could properly be able to serve you guys.
Yeah.
We're servants.
Yeah.
We're not masters.
No.
Even though I'm going to go get my masters. But
it'll soon be the master, but still servant.
No, I'm still servant.
Still servant.
No, I'm still going to be a servant. Nah. But do you have any... What's going on with the clothes? Are the shop shut down now? The shop's down?
Yeah, man. Store is closed.
Do you still have any spare pieces to sell?
No, nothing on hand. You snooze, you lose.
I was gonna make an announcement. I didn't know. That's why I had to clarify.
Yeah.
So, when's the next drop gonna be? Let me ask them that. Let me get the people that.
Coming soon. We don't know when yet. I think I might take the next month off. We dropped the last 2 months, so I think I might take next month off. Get ready for the spring collection that's coming up. I was gonna do one more winter, but I think I'm gonna just do spring now.
Cause like we're kind of like in that full
winter's
spring.
over.
It's like in that full spring, but it is get cold this week because of that rain.
Right.
Cause it's cold outside.
But it was hot last week. I was wearing shorts last week.
I was too, but you see, Georgia, we're bipolar.
Exactly.
But
we're coming out of winter into spring and summer, so I think I want to like be ready for that. And
some shorts.
Yeah, some shorts. You know, some nice little tees, jerseys. You know, cool shit.
You know what we do need?
What?
We need some windbreakers.
Windbreakers. Hey, you know what else crazy? I was thinking about that today. I was like,
or even like
it was raining.
Or like some sweatpants, but not like, you know, like not like the like cloth,
like these.
but like, you know, like it's kind of like more like
windbreaker material.
Yeah,
nylon.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking about that today. I'm like, dang, it's raining outside. I'm like, I wish I had like a fire wave windbreaker tracksuit. But it's on the way though. It's coming soon. God is good, man. We gonna have all of this soon. So, you know, I ain't tripping.
So that's the end of the episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next time. Keep waving.
Keep waving. Yeah, keep waving.